The following is an exclusive presentation of Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
For many municipalities throughout New Jersey, shared services has become a necessity, and in Bergen County, that's no different. Bergen County Executive Dennis McNerney joins me to discuss this topic and much more next on Cablevision's Meet the Leaders. Welcome to Meet the Leaders. I'm Debbie Duhane. Bergen County, with support from the Board of Chosen Freeholders, has been at the forefront of the shared services movement. The county has helped facilitate numerous shared services projects. Just this month, the Board of Freeholders approved a resolution in which the county will fund a feasibility study so that the boroughs of Montvale, Park Ridge, and Woodcliff Lake can explore the consolidation of their municipal courts. Joining us to discuss this topic is Bergen County Executive Dennis McNerney. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's great to see you, and it's really seems like it is becoming a necessity, the shared services idea. And how are the towns and municipalities responding to this?
Well, you're absolutely right. It may be a timing issue. We've been proposing this for a number of years. We've been working sort of behind the scenes, and in 2005, 2006, we really raised the bar in terms of towns working together. And a lot of the towns and school districts at the time weren't that interested in 2006. But it's amazing how we are here now in 2009, and we have borough administrators and elected officials who are looking at this more closely, whether it be through the county, a third party, or the state of New Jersey, are just working with their neighbors in terms of sharing services.
And what is this feasibility study? What does that mean to the borough?
What it is you're looking to save money somewhere, and the first step is, and it's a soft step, and it's just to see where we can save money. And sometimes there's resistance to change, and by doing it with the cover of the study, you could find out if it's worthwhile or if it's not. So you talked about the one earlier with Montvale and Park Ridge about municipal courts. There are 3 small towns, and they have small municipal courts, and there's some revenue that's generated from there. And because of legal rules, actually, one difficulty is if you merge a municipal court, the state government actually picks the judge, not the local towns. So they're giving up control of a judgeship. And that's a concern. All 3 towns want their own judge, and there's revenue associated with that too. So by coming to the table and getting together and having a third party, which is the regional government, the county of Bergen, do a feasibility study, an amount not to exceed $20,000, there could be savings in the future. And if there isn't savings, then there's a historical document that says, look, we looked at this, there's no feasibility. So for instance, Wyckoff and Midland Park on their own looked at sharing or working together by any type of proposal of merging their police departments or even sharing the police chief. And
what's happening with that?
Well, they did one phase of the study, and there was no county involvement. You give credit to the elected officials who stood up to do this, and they didn't go to the second study because it didn't really seem feasible at the time. So now you're on record saying, you know what, this doesn't seem to be right, and there's no shared cost savings there, and let's move on to something else.
Okay, so that's where the study's going to help.
Exactly. Just talking about it will hopefully discover something. And we're unique here in Bergen County. We have more municipalities than any county in the state. We have 70 municipalities.
70, that's a lot. And some of them are small, some of them are larger, some are cities like Hackensack.
Right, we have 3 big cities, and half of the towns, 35 of the towns, have a population of about less than 10,000. And I think everybody agrees that there's economies of scale or inefficiencies for towns that are less than 10,000. It's just a matter of finding out where they can work together. And this isn't a forced regionalization, this isn't a forced merger, it's just working in terms of seeing where there's a shared cost. In 2006, the state legislature proposed a number of initiatives to work towards almost a forced merger, and there was resistance to doing that. So now it goes back to the municipalities to say, what are we going to do, and the county, where they can cooperate, what are we going to do to shared services? And I think that's what we have to do. The other big concern is school districts. 60%, or in some cases 65% of your property taxes really goes to the schools.
And the taxes are always going up, so is there a way that we can stabilize them with the shared services?
Absolutely. And what you're going to see in Bergen County, the state, and remember, we're all creatures of the state government could come in if they really wanted to in one day or whatever and say these districts are going to dissolve, these towns are going to dissolve, because we're all creatures of the state. Well, the state understands the issue of home rule, so they're leaving it up to the municipalities. And we really have to take the lead in Bergen County with more municipalities to start looking at sharing costs.
Now, I could see how some elected officials, some mayors, they may want to keep their own identity of the town. What about the people? Do they have a say in this? Can they say, we want to share services, we want to lower our taxes? How can the people get the word out to their elected officials?
Well, of course they can by electing school board members and electing school officials who share that vision. And the majority of the elected officials do. It's just a matter of working it out, because there's so many legal rules and there's so much special interest involved that you want to do it in a proactive way.
What is the ballot referendum all about then? Is that something where people can actually have a say?
Sure. Actually, in this November, in about 5 towns in Bergen County, there's going to be a non-binding referendum when you go in and vote for the governor. On the right-hand side is a question: